What's up, guys? If you've ever been in the woods on a nice, cool, brisk November morning and you get out there and open up your bag and realize you forgot your insulated gloves, go ahead and hit that like, comment, and subscribe because we're going to get along great. Looking forward to getting into today's video. Today's video is going to be about the food plots we've done for the 2025 season and the intro. All right. Hey guys, welcome back. All right. So today's video is about our food plots for the 2025 season. Now, granted, this is the first year I have done any food plots in Central Virginia where I'm currently living. I've done some in the northwest part of Georgia where I'm from, and we mainly just did clover, and it was in an open field, plenty of sunlight, used all the fertilizer and all that great stuff, and it worked out perfect. So I was trying to throw and grow method this year in the woods, and so this was all very new to us. So with some research, I ended up going with the Domain No BS food plot mixture, which has in it winter oats, red clover, rapeseed, radish, another type of clover, and chicory. Okay, this is supposed to be a simple throw and grow, survives in really good high acidity soil, like 5 to 7 or something like that. So we took that, we did two different methods of food plot. One method, we took an old road and we used a tiller on it, cleared it out, did a 67 yard food plot. We tilled it up, and then we threw the seed out and we rolled over it with a truck to compact it, and we did that method. It gets really good sunlight throughout the day as well as throughout the year. So the second food plot location was down in the woods, about 25 yards from a seasonal swamp that's typically, for the most part, year-round, filled up with at least a little bit of water. It's very thick, very marshy, brushy, so it's sort of like a transitional area between that swamp and the woods. It's not really open, but it's more open than what the swamp is. So we cleared out about a 25 by 30 yard circle, which if you follow me on TikTok, you can go over to TikTok and watch the video of us using the full wheeler to replant that food plot, and you'll see why in the rest of this video. So what we did was we used just hand tools, used a rake, raked out all leaves, tried to get it down to as bare soil as best as possible. Used an axe, cut down a couple trees, and we threw the seed out, and we said, okay, well, great, we're going to have a food plot, right? No. Put a halt to that. A month later, get back, and we have two little patchy spots of food plot, and that's it. And they're not even thick. They're just very sparse. You can see where some clover's coming up, but that's about it. They really did not take off in that one spot like we thought. But on the other hand, the spot we did on the road absolutely did phenomenal. It was doing great. It definitely was thicker in some areas where you can tell the seed got put down a little thicker than others. But for the most part, deer were coming in there consistently. With the trail cameras we had up, we've been able to see deer coming in there consistently, as well as coyotes, possibly a bobcat, some possums and raccoons and squirrels and all the other great stuff. And the wildlife seemed to really like that deer. They're definitely using that as a travel way, because basically how the property is laid out is there's an agricultural field here and an agricultural field here, and there's a chunk of woods here, and this little chunk over here is like an island, and there's this chunk in the middle. Well, the road is cut right through the middle of that middle chunk, going from these two agricultural fields. So the deer are just using that to pass through as they go from one field to the next. Now, the one agricultural field on this side of the food plot is planted in peanuts right now. So I did not know what they were going to plant in it before I put the food plot in. If I'd known that, I may have picked a different location, because peanuts is a good food source and they have plenty of food right now, so they really don't technically need the food plot. But historically speaking, they had been planting cotton in that field, so I figured that would be a good food source. But the farmer switched it up as usual and ended up planting peanuts. But that doesn't seem to affect the deer. The deer still seem to be moving in there plenty regular, and we've had no issues not seeing deer. The other food plot, on the other hand, we've only had a couple pictures of one single doe consistently coming in there and eating on a tiny little patch of clover that is in that area. So what we decided to do was replant. This time we took a 4-wheeler down there with a device that we hooked to the back of it that had a bunch of little teeth on the back of it that we were able to run and really dig and get down into the dirt and break up that soil. Then we reseeded with what seed we had left, because we bought 2 of these containers. Both of these plant roughly a 1/4 acre to a 1/2 acre, somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact, it says 1/4 acre right here. So it plants a 1/4 acre. I didn't remember the exact amount of acreage, but we used 2 of those, which is total of 1/2 acre. We did not have a 1/2 acre worth of planting, but if there's anything I learned about planting food plots when I lived in Georgia, the more seed, the better. Always overseed. So, with that being said, when we went back to plant that second food plot again, we purchased this Antler King Jolt liquid fertilizer. Now, this stuff is supposed to be a liquid fertilizer. You mix it. It's 1 ounce to, it's 1 ounce per gallon. So 1 ounce, we did, because the way this is, technically this whole bottle plants 2 acres, and then 8 ounces to 8 gallons of water plants 1/2 acre. So we said, okay, let's do, we want to do 1/8 of an acre roughly. So we're going to do 2 ounces to 2 gallon water, because I had a 2 gallon sprayer. So we did 2 ounces of this and 2 gallons of water. I sprayed the food plot that was already established and doing well. It's not supposed to burn your plants or anything. It is something you can completely just spray on the leaves and everything, and it actually absorbs through the leaves, and it will actually help trap more natural sugars, which will then in turn attract the deer to it more. So we'll see if that's actually how it works. But I also took it was a 1 ounce to 1 gallon ratio, or 1 ounce to 2 gallon ratio, so not quite as potent. But I took that down to the other food plot that we reseeded, and I sprayed it on there. I said, what the heck with it? Technically, you're supposed to wait till your food plot's 3 inches, but I said, at this point, this food plot's not growing. Let me try something new. So I'm really curious to go down there, because nobody has went down there. That one's pretty deep in the woods. It takes a little bit to get to. So I'm very curious to see if that food plot will actually do well since we put the fertilizer down there. I watched some different videos on YouTube, as well as read some different things on Reddit that stated that putting the fertilizer down when you plant sometimes helps. I don't know. But so far, that is what we've done for the 25-26 season when it comes to food plots. Some other things that we've done is we've went in and we did some hinge cuts around the one food plot in the woods, sort of trying to make a wider area of a lot more cover, also putting some foliage down on the ground so the deer can come in, because that part of the woods, other than the swamp, there's really not a whole lot of browsing material for the deer in there. So if they are coming in there, they're simply just going to be passing through. They're not going to be stopping and eating. And the whole point of us trying to build that area was we're trying to build a really good bow hunting stand. So we wanted the deer to have something to come in, eat, and hang out. So also we wanted them to have security, especially the bigger bucks. That is a couple things we've done. For this year, we've also put up a corn feeder, which we'll have to take down September 1, because in the state of Virginia, you cannot bait deer year-round. It has to be taken up September 1, and I think it's like first or second week of January or February, something like that, that you can put them back out. So we put up a feeder. We haven't really got as much activity off of the feeder that I was expecting. I was hoping we'd get a lot more activity off of it, but we actually haven't got anything on the cell camera. So either one, the cell camera's broke, or the feeder's not feeding, or there's just no deer coming into that area enough to get any good pictures. So we may end up having to move that, and we'll play around with that, and I'll definitely update y'all on how that goes. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video of me rambling and talking about everything we are doing for the season. Maybe if you're interested in putting in a fall food plot or something, I know around like the end of July to August time frame, they say is the best time to plant those fall food plots. So if you want, I got this off of Amazon for about $26-ish. We'll link it in the description. And I hope that y'all have gained some knowledge from this and this helps y'all out. I will put some before and after photos of the food plots at the end of this video right here. And I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified anytime I post a video. And we will see you on the next video. Have a great day.